Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Introduction to Abort controllers in React. The Abort controller interface is part of the Fetch API that allows you to abort ongoing requests. This feature is particularly useful in React applications, where components might unmount before a request completes, leading to potential memory leaks or attempts to update the state of an unmounted component. Using an abort controller helps to cancel the fetch request when the component unmounts or based on specific conditions, ensuring that you manage resources efficiently. Setting up an abort controller in React. Here's a step-by-step guide on how to integrate abort controller into a React component. Step 1. Create a new React project. If you don't already have a React project, you can create one using Create React App. Bash. npx create React App abort controller example. cd abort controller example. npm start. Step 2. Using abort controller in a component. Now, let's create a simple component that fetches data from an API and uses abort controller to manage the request. Example component, fetching data with abort controller. JSX. Import React, use effect, uses state from React. Const data fetching component equals. Const data, set data equals uses state, null. Const loading, set loading equals uses state, true. Const error, set error equals uses state, null. Use effect, equals. / create an instance of abort controller. Const controller equals new abort controller. Const signal equals controller.signal. Const fetch data equals async, equals. Try. Const response equals await fetch, https://json placeholder.typicode.com/posts, signal. If, response.ok. Throw new error, network response was not ok. Const result equals await response.json. Set data, result. Catch, error. / handle fetch errors, including abort errors. If, err.name equals abort error. Console.log, fetch aborted. Else. Set error, error.message. Finally. Set loading, false. Fetch data. / cleanup function to abort the fetch request on component unmount. Return, equals. Controller.abort. If, loading, return div loading, /div. If, error, return div error, error/div. Return. Div. h1 fetched data /h1. ul. Data and end data.map, item equals. Leakey equals item.id item.title/lee. /ul. /div. Export default data fetching component. Explanation of the code. 1. State management, we use useState to manage the data, loading, and error states. 2. Effect hook, the use effect hook is used to handle side effects, such as fetching data. 3. Abort controller setup. We create an instance of abort controller and get its signal. The signal is passed to the fetch request options. 4. Fetching data. The fetch data function performs the fetch operation. If the request is successful, we set the data. If it fails, we check if the error is an abort error to distinguish it from other errors. 5. Cleanup function, the return statement in useEffect defines a cleanup function that aborts the fetch request when the component unmounts. Conclusion. Using abort controller in React helps manage fetch requests efficiently, especially in cases where components might unmount before the request completes. This prevents potential memory leaks and ensures that your application behaves correctly without trying to update the state of unmounted components. By following the example provided, you can easily implement this pattern in your own React applications.